Hi, my name is Maddie Domster. My pronouns are she, her, and I am from Buffalo, New York. Some live theater shows I have seen are Hamilton, Mary Poppins, and Peter Pan. Some fun facts about me is I have a twin brother and I swim for the swim team here at Bing. 3 words to describe how I felt about the film was encapsulating, memorable, and educated. I chose these words because the film made me not want to look away, and I kept thinking about the songs later on. I also felt like I learned something about American history. This play was about everyone fighting for their own beliefs, whether it was for the war, family, etc. The artist wanted the audience to think about the war and how people were affected. I think they were successful because they left us wanting to know more, or at least knowing more about American history. Discussing the idea of owning your own, there was nothing new I learned, but it did make me think more deeply about the aspect of our class, like creating space for change in others and yourself. What hiring number statistics stood out to me was the limited number of theater openings and the growing number of people joining. Though it was harder to obtain a job in theater production than it used to be. The first article, The Open Letter, the main point was the structures within the industry suppress people of color. 300 people of color wrote a letter to white American theater calling out all the racism and discrimination they have felt. 22,000 people have now signed a petition to change these norms due to the letter. In the actual white letter, the main points were continued statements like, "We have watched," and then they say something that they do not stand for anymore. For example, the most influential quote, in my opinion, was, "We see you. We have always seen you. We have watched you pretend not to see us." In the Casting After Colorblindness article, the main point was people say that it is reverse racism and black privilege when they get main parts, and that Hamilton has a lot of people of color as main actors. I couldn't fully finish reading this article because you had to pay for the subscription to fully access it. And Why Hamilton is Not the Revolution You Think It Is article. The main points are that critics believe that female characters don't get enough stage time and their feelings only relate to Alexander, and how the white slaveholders and presidents are all played by people of color makes white people forget they're implicated in the violence of anti-black history. In the Rolling Stones magazine article, the main points are how Gen Z uses social media more than other generations and how they have more power over the internet to influence the judgment and likeliness of all characters, especially in theater. Overall, reading these articles have made me feel shocked to the underlying issues in the theater world. These awful events have merely been swept under the rug, and articles must be written to bring these issues to light. I believe the main reasons we read those articles were to be educated on what truly occurs behind closed doors, which then we can spread to the rest of the world of Gen Z, as we do hold the power on social media. The second article was the most effective in reaching the message of injustice because it was the raw first-hand letter, which had powerful word choice such as "we see you" and "we have always seen you" and "now you will see us." In summary, Hamilton is not explicitly about racism, but it has played a role in contemporary conversations about race, representation, and the way history is portrayed. It has been celebrated for its diverse cast and criticized for simplifying complex historical issues. Its impact on discussions about race in the current world is a reflection of ongoing debates about how history and culture intersect with contemporary issues of racism and identity. Specifically on diverse casting. One of the most notable aspects of Hamilton is its diverse cast, with actors of different racial backgrounds playing the roles of historical figures who were predominantly white. This casting choice was intentional and was praised for providing opportunities for actors of color and challenging traditional notions of who can portray historical figures. Some argue that the diverse casting helps address historical whitewashing and highlights the contributions of people of color to American history.